10 must-know tips for driving abroad. Booking a trip, especially to a foreign country, is always an exhilarating experience. With these tips, you'll be able to embark on your journey with confidence, knowing that you're well prepared and equipped for the road ahead. 10 tips for driving abroad. Research and preparation. Spend some time researching the driving rules and regulations of the destination you'll be visiting. International driving permits can be obtained within 6 months of your desired effective date. To apply in person, you will need to fill out an application form, bring 2 original passport pictures, your current driver's license, and be ready to pay a $20 fee. However, when driving in a foreign country, these may look quite different than what you are used to. Choosing your vehicle. Many times, when traveling domestically, we may be inclined to rent larger cars for comfort and extra luggage space, but there are many reasons to rent smaller cars when abroad. Smaller cars are great for city driving. Smaller cars also tend to be more cost-effective when it comes both to rental fees and fuel charges. Insurance and documentation. Your standard auto insurance may not cover you while driving internationally. Be sure to review your policy before you leave to make sure you're fully aware of the scope of your coverage. If your insurance does not cover it, you can choose to pay for coverage through the rental car company. Safety tips. Safety should be your top priority when driving. Wearing a seatbelt is mandatory in all vehicles in many countries, including those within the EU. Plan to avoid driving at night or in inclement weather when at all possible. Keep your vehicle safe even when you're not in the car. Budgeting and payment. Surprise costs should be expected when traveling. Plan ahead for these extra costs, such as tolls, parking fees, or insurance. Planning for these costs may include keeping your spare change readily available and having some extra cash on hand. Before your trip, make sure to inquire with your credit card companies to ensure you have 1 or 2 that work internationally. If they are not updated, there is a possibility they may freeze your account and you don't want to be stranded without a payment method. If you have more than 1 card that works internationally, it is also helpful to be aware what foreign transaction fees may be associated with each card. Communication. It's okay if you're not fluent in the language of the country you're visiting, but it is helpful to learn important phrases in the local language that relate to driving. Sometimes translation apps don't have the perfect translation, and being on the road is no place for miscommunications. Before leaving for your trip, check with your cell phone provider to see if your phone will automatically connect in another country or if you need to change over to an international plan. Navigation tips. Even though you may have a map or navigation system, it's helpful to review and familiarize yourself with the route before you start your drive. Parking tips. Finding a spot can be hard enough when you are familiar with an area, let alone when you're in a new country. Plan to research ahead of time for all of the places you intend to visit. Keep in mind that each country has their own set of parking laws and regulations, and these rules may not always be posted. Driving through multiple countries. If your trip takes you to multiple locations, keep cross-border fees in mind. These fees are mainly in place when driving between non-EU countries. If you know you will be traveling to multiple countries, it is best to speak directly to your rental car company about any additional fees that may be charged. Stay in the slow lane. I recommend staying in the slow lane for a while, maybe even for the whole trip. You may be fully confident in your driving ability, and may have done all your research, but people in other countries often have different driving habits that could be overwhelming. It is a completely new situation, and it is only natural to feel a bit out of sorts when you're still getting used to it.